Okay, so good morning to each and every one of you, and welcome to the very first topic for this course, Science, Technology, and Society, which is all about the existence of the information age. So, for this particular discussion, this is actually the start of the series of discussions that we will be having for STS. That is now the application of the different concepts that we had discussed when it comes to the midterms. So, if during the midterms, ang naging focus natin dito ay yung existence ng history and philosophy of sciences. For this point, we will now actually be having a more in-depth discussion of the applications of the different concepts, sciences, concepts of engineering, concepts of technology that could be applied in the contemporary times. So for today, we will actually be having this particular discussion regarding the existence of the information age. Pag-uusapan natin dito hindi lamang yung history nito, kundi yung application nito in modern times, especially in the status here in our country. So pag-uusapan po natin in this particular context kung paano nga ba nag-evolve ang information at kung bakit nga ba importante ang existence ng science and technology pagdating sa bagay na to. Okay, so let's begin with this particular discussion with the statement of the father of information age, which is James Robert Messenger. So si Sir Robert, James Robert Messenger is actually not only a scientist but even he is a considered as a writer, and at the same time he is also a director, which he mentioned here, and he created a documentary regarding the existence of the information age theory, that the existence po ng information age became one of the pivotal points when it comes to human civilization. It is not only about the existence of the different types of ways that were created by humans, but even the significance of the utilization of different forms or means of communication. It became the pivotal point for the development of human civilizations. So it is not only about the existence of science and technology, but even yung existence din daw po ng communication, existence ng how we transmit information from one individual to another individual. All of them are now related with the context of our own evolution, our own development as a species. So, yung information age po, according to James Robert Messenger, quote-unquote, it is an utterly new age based upon the interrelationship of computers via telecommunications. But long before the existence of computers and telecommunications, the different information structures can actually operate both in a real-time and as needed basis. Furthermore, the primary factors driving this new age forward are convenience and user-friendliness, which in turn will create user dependence. Kung titingnan po natin dito yung development talaga ng information age, there are actually different levels pagdating po sa bagay na to. Some of the ideas po natin when it comes to the existence of social media probably started long before the existence of computers, long before the existence of gadgets. Okay? So, kung contrary to popular belief that the gadgets and the different technologies that we had created the actual social media that we know. Actually, even long before the existence po ng technology kahit wala pang kuryente, okay, nandito na po yung existence na tinatawag natin na ways on how we can communicate to other individual. And these are some of the historical artifacts and at the same time historical activities that were actually done by different individuals long before the existence of this particular gadgets. Nung panahong wala pang messenger, nung panahong wala pang internet, people are actually utilizing what we are calling as the postal services. Okay? So, the postal services actually started roughly around 550 BC. And this is present in the civilizations that were actually present in Europe. So yung primeval form po ng postal service, ito po yung kilala natin ngayon as the snail mail. Okay? Snail as in suso, then mail which means the letter. Okay? So yung mabagal po na pag-transfer na information from one individual to another individual could actually happen through the existence po ng mga postal services. So the reason why they are coded as postal services, kung bakit rin po meron tayong tinatawag na iba't ibang mga postal codes, Those are actually the different numbers or different types po ng mga locations kung saan nga ba natin matatagpuan yung mga mapaglalagyan natin ng mga letters na to. So halimbawa na lang po, in our location in Hagunoy, it is 3002. In San Jose del Monte, if my memory serves me right, that's 30023. So ibig sabihin lang po nito na yung postal code or yung postal service na yun po yung number or yung code kung saan nga ba dadalhin yung mismong letter mo. And all of these postal services, sila po ay parang nasa isang bird cage or isang structure, okay, that you are actually placing there the different letters na related po pagdating sa inyo. So kung yun po yung postal code ninyo, meron po dito isang center of postage, okay, mismong postal service para sa lugar ninyo na nung wala pang internet, doon kayo pupunta para i-check kung meron nga bang deliveries, kung meron nga bang mga letters na provided para sa inyo. Okay? Hindi po yung ginagawa na paisa-isa na sinisend or dinadala sa bahay, unlike what we have today sa mga courier services. May postal services po kasi dati, talagang pinupuntahan lang natin sila dun sa mga specific na mga buildings na to. Kaya po sila tinatawag na mga postal codes. Okay? Kaya importante po yung postal codes o yung mga zip codes na tinatawag natin. So yun po yung kanilang significance. Then, there's also the existence po noong 1865, what we're calling as the pneumatic post. So, yung mga pneumatic post, ito naman po yung nilalagay nila sa mga tubes, okay? Yung iba't ibang mga letters and pinapadala nila ito in a very fast pace sa pamagitan ng paglagay ng pressurized na air, okay? Or, ano nga ba yung pwede natin magamit na example dito? Imagine this particular technology na nilagay mo sa tube, okay, sa isang container yung mismong letter mo, then probably mag-insert na lang ako ng video dito para mas lalo ninyo ma-visualize kung ano nga ba ito sinasabi ko na pneumatic post. But they're actually placing all of your letters delivery sa isang maliit na circle or cylinder, then ilalagay ninyo doon yung lahat ng mga kinakailangan ninyo, then ipapadala po ito through a series of different tubes na pinapadaan sila gamit lang yung mabilis na hangin or pressurized na hangin. Kaya po sobrang bilis lang na nangyayari when it comes to the delivery or transmit of this particular information. Then, after the existence of the actual pneumatic post, noong 1890, dito naman unti-unti na-develop na nga yung existence ng telecommunication, starting with the existence po ng telephone. So take note lang po, just like what we had on our discussion, Sir Alexander Graham Bell is not the only person who invented the telephone. Siya nga lang po yung unang nagkaroon ng patent for the creation or for the actual telephone, kaya siya po yung pinaka nakilala. But there are different individuals during his time who started to create telephones as well. Okay? Then by 1891, the transmission through the existence po ng radio and application ng electromagnetic waves. Actually, yung pong mga numbers para dun sa mga nakikinig dito sa radio, yung mga radio stations, those are actually the different frequencies and wavelength na kung ano nga ba yung number or kung ano nga ba yung wavelength na possible na marinig ninyo itong mismong station na to. So yun po yung ginagamit natin pagdating doon sa bagay na yun. Then, there's also the existence po ng telegraph noong 1972 na nagsimula na nga rin dito yung development ngayon ng printed text. So hindi na lamang po sila through communication utilizing different electromagnetic waves, but even yung existence na rin po ng mga physical stuff that can actually be read by different individuals. So, kung titingnan po natin yung birth of social media, tandaan natin that long before the existence of gadgets, technologies, it is already existing. Okay? So, hindi po dependent ang social media sa internet. Hindi po dependent ang social media pagdating sa gadgets or technologies that we have. Okay? Because social media existed long before the presence of these particular technologies. Then, there is also that quick revolution of the written word and communication kung titingnan po natin yung context ng iba't ibang mga happenings that is actually present on the information age. So meron po tayo dito ang tinatawag or hatiin po natin yung mga phases na to through this particular instances. So nandito po yung tinatawag natin na pre-Gutenberg world or si Johann Gutenberg, siya nga po yung nakadiscover ng mismong printing press. So before the existence of the printing press, there is still the written word and communication na ilan nga po dun sa mga napag-usapan natin are actually present on the midterms. Then there's also the existence po ng Gutenberg world, which is during the Middle Ages, the Renaissance, the Industrial Revolution, and even during the time of the Scientific Revolution. Then lastly, there's the existence po nitong post-Gutenberg world, which involves the 19th century and even the actual information age that we have in the contemporary times. So, mabilisan po, quick na recall regarding each one of them. So, starting off with the existence po ng pre-Gutenberg world. So, obviously, without the existence po ng mga printing press, all of the different modes of communications were actually present on different forms. It could be present on clay tablets, katulad na lamang ng ginawa ng mga Sumerians with the existence of the cuneiform, with the presence of hieroglyphics na ginawa ng mga Mayans, Aztec, even the Egyptians, and even the Inca civilization. Then there is also the existence po ng calligraphy that were actually done by the Chinese and the Han civilizations, including the Japanese and even the Koreans. So during the pre-Gutenberg world, wala pa po tayo mga printing press dito, and the distribution of different written text, sila po ay parating ginagawa ng mano-mano. Okay? So there are different individuals known as scribers and artists that are actually in very high demand para sa paggawa ng iba't ibang mga libro. If you can still remember on our discussion pagdating sa existence ng Roman and Greek civilization, that during the Roman civilization, they already created here the presence of the actual codex, one of the very first books in existence. So minamano-mano po nila dito yung pagsusulat sa kada isang page, which will take them roughly around a few months or a year para makopya yung isang buong libro. Na yung processing ng libro, ito ay sobrang bagal. Okay? So that's the reason why even literacy and education became somewhat inaccessible during those particular times. Okay? Kaya konti lang din talaga yung masabi natin na maalam, quote-unquote, pagdating sa mga written text, because most of the means of communication is actually happening through the word of mouth. Okay? Almost the same lang din dito sa ating bansa, dito sa Pilipinas. Kaya marami din doon sa mga tala natin ay nagsimula lang talaga during the time of the Spaniard occupation sa ating bansa. Kasi wala po tayong masyadong well-documented na mga writing systems that were actually utilized by our ancestors other than the alif bata at iba't iba pang mga written means of communication sa ating bansa. Kaso nga lang hindi sila naka-organize properly. Kaya yung ilan sa mga naging problems natin. That some of the documentations that were done by the Spaniards, probably some of them are inaccurate, and at the same time, it's no longer reflecting the first-person point of view ng kung ano nga ba talaga yung nangyari sa history natin sa ating bansa. Because it is basically documented by other individuals and not by actual Filipinos. So, if we're going to look at this, the development of the written text, it is not only focused on the creation of books, not only the utilization of paper, kundi gumamit nga rin po tayo dito ng clay, gumamit tayo ng wax, then until sa unti-unti na nga na-develop dito yung creation ng papyrus and even paggamit na rin ng parchment. But right after the existence po ng printing press during the Gutenberg world, okay, na noong 1436 when he created the very first mechanical na printing press sa paggamit nga po dito ng dalawang technologies. Okay, so tandaan po natin na dalawang technologies po ang ginamit ni Gutenberg para dun sa creation ng printing press na to. Una, yung presence ng olive press na ginagamit sa paggawa ng olive oil. Then yung second one, it is the existence po ng mga stamps that were existing in China and even in Japan. So yung mga stamps, yung mga wooden stamps na yun, he placed or he utilized different letters for that. Then from being wood, ginawa na nga itong metals para mas lalong maging okay yung mismong utilization nitong bagay na to. So kung mapapansin po natin, all of the things that are actually present on the actual printing press, all of them are the negatives. Okay? Gumamit po siya dito ng letter molds na dati nagsimula ito sa paggamit ng wood. Kaso nga lang, alam naman po natin na ang wood, it actually has the tendency to smudge, especially kapag masyadong maraming beses na ito nalalagyan ng ink or kapag ito ay nababasa. Kaya nga po kapag bagyo din, okay, so for some of you probably na-encounter ito na parang lumalapad yung mismong kahoy kapag sila ay nababasa. Ganun din po yung instance with the utilization ng ink. So, the use of wood as the stamps became inconvenient at hindi na rin po siya nagagamit talaga ng pangmatagalan. So, a better system with the utilization or with the use of metals, ito na po yung ginamit talaga. Metallic alloy, yung mas naging okay na gamitin for the stamps that will be utilized for the printing press that was basically developed by Johann Gutenberg. So ito pong system na to is quite simple, repetitive, and at the same time much useful kasi mas mabilis nga po ito na nagagawa. Okay? And with the existence of this technology, mas lalo po napabilis ang development and at the same time the spread of literacy, even the spread of Christianity, the utilization ng flyers, newspapers, and magazine. Na dati, nakafocus lang tayo sa word communication, handwritten communication, but now we can actually create these things in real time at mabilisan na yung pag-transfer ng information to other individuals. So these are some of the contexts po na tinitingnan natin during the time of the Gutenberg world. Then, lastly, pagdating po dito sa development na to, nung nagkaroon na tayo ng Industrial Revolution and Scientific Revolution, gumamit na tayo ng steam power. In the 19th century, nagsimula na po dito yung tinatawag natin na post-Gutenberg time. That in the 19th century, the existence po ng telecommunications, utilization nga po ng electricity and communication, ito na po yung ginagamit natin to send different informations. So, nagsimula na po sa post-Gutenberg world yung paggamit natin ngayon ng tinatawag natin na pneumatic post. Gumagamit na tayong technology para mas mapabilis yung transfer ng information from one individual to another individual. Then, nagagamit na rin natin dito yung existence ng iba pang mga technologies para mas mapabilis yung pag-transfer ng information. So kung dati yung mga kartero, minamano-mano lang nila yung pagpunta sa iba't ibang mga postal services or binabahay-bahay nila, ngayon gumagamit na rin tayo dito ng transportation para mas mapabilis yung pagta-transfer ng information from one individual to the next. Kung dati sa sinaunang Pilipinas, meron tayong mga tinatawag na umaluhokan o yung mga nagbabasa ng kung ano man yung mga sinabi ng datu. Sa pagkakataon na to, marami ng individuals ang maaari makapagbasa ng mga information na to. Meron na tayong flyers, meron tayong mga newspapers, and at the same time, a development pagdating do sa context natin regarding the maximization of written text nga yung nagawa na not only in the Philippines but in different parts of the world. So basically, the post-Gutenberg era started this particular change na na-experience na po natin. In the post-Gutenberg world, nagawa din po dito yung mga telegrams. Okay, so yung mga telegrama po na ito ay sobrang bilis lang dito na transfer. So konti lang yung information nakalagay dito, babayaran mo kung ano yung number ng words kasi yung bilis ng pagta-transmit nito yung ginagawa. Okay? Then, there's also the existence po ng makinilya o yung tinatawag po natin na typewriters. And isa rin po ito sa mga naging reason kung bakit nga ba QWERTY yung ginagamit po natin ngayon na keyboard. Kasi, kapag tinatype po natin yan sa makinilya, yung letters po na available dito, hindi sila nagja-jam. Okay, kaya po naka-ganito yung mismong keyboard natin. It's actually patterned with the makinilya or typewriter. Okay, inisip ko pa kung ano yung English term for this. So yun po, typewriter po yung ginagamit dyan. Then, with the application po ng technology and electricity, nandito na yung existence ng copywriter and even yung mga fax machines. na finifeed na sa atin in real time kung ano nga ba yung mga sign signature and napiprint din sila ng mabilisan. With the utilization ng telephone plus yung ipiprint ng mga messages, napapadala na rin po ito kaagad. Then syempre, kakalimutan ba natin yung utilization na ngayon ng newer forms of telephone communication, and at the same time, television and radio communications. So, at the end of the day, the post-Gutenberg world provided us the idea ng kung ano na nga ba yung nag exist sa contemporary times. Okay? So yung post-Gutenberg world po, the post-Gutenberg era, ito provided a new perspective when it comes to communication. That communication cannot only be heard, cannot only be read, but it can also be seen by our eyes. So lahat na po ng senses natin became active during the time of the post-Gutenberg era. Okay? Okay, so after all of the things that I actually mentioned regarding the existence of the pre-Gutenberg, during the Gutenberg time and post-Gutenberg era, let's now talk about the existence po ng the information age when it comes to the post-Gutenberg world. So, we will actually be talking about the existence po ng information age from its actual start up to the development of this in the contemporary times or sa panahon po natin ngayon in 2024. So around the 1970s, the information age began and is continuing today, and it is quite known today as the digital age or computer age or new media age. Pagtandaan po natin that according to James Robert Messenger, since this is a very pivotal point pagdating po sa civilization natin, it now actually start to transcend into other forms. Okay, so yung information nga po that we have probably 5 years ago are no longer the same as the means of communication that we are utilizing nowadays. Or so for instance, halimbawa na lang po dito, during the time of the pandemic, pre-pandemic times or pre-pandemic period, we are not yet utilizing this video recordings as a form of discussions. Pero ngayon, in contemporary times, ginamit na po natin ito para makapag-relay tayo ng real-time information sa ating mga estudyante. Some of these particular inventions are now related po sa kung paano nga ba natin gustong i-transmit ang information sa iba't ibang mga individuals. And with the development of how we would like to communicate, even ang information age and even us as humans, as a species, we're also evolving differently. Okay? So yung access po sa internet can actually allow people to access different information with the touch of a button. And when it comes to the existence po ng internet and social media in the 20th century, ito na nga po yung naging dependent platform natin ngayon para masabi natin that social media is existing. So kung dati, nakafocus lang po tayo sa social media with communication to other individuals, with our society, ngayon po, we can have social media on the touch of our phones, with the touch of our gadgets. Okay? Kung dati, ang social media ay hindi po dependent doon sa mga bagay na to, ngayon, naging dependent na ngayon ang social media and yung information sa pamagitan ng mga technological advancements na to. So, kung titingnan po natin yung quick development regarding the existence po ng social media and of the internet, roughly around 1950s, dito po nag-emerge yung existence ng discipline known as computer science. Okay? It is the science of computing. It's not about the science of this particular gadgets. Okay? So, no 1960s, development of the data network known as CompuServe. Ito po yung pinakaunang data network na nag-exist na kinoconnect dito yung iba't ibang mga computers during that particular time. Then, noong 1970s, dito naman po nagkaroon ng start ng mismong birth of the internet. But, the official birthday po ng internet, if we're going to look at it, is every January 1, 1983. Okay, hindi po 1970s, de-develop lang ito pero hindi pa siya nabibigyan ng pangalan. Pero noong January 1, the internet became accessible to almost all parts of the world. So kaya po nagkaroon dito ng utilization talaga ng actual na birthday ni internet during this time. Kasi ito na nga yung mas accessible na sa mas maraming mga tao. Hindi po siya pwede nung earlier parts of 1980s kasi yung internet connectivity during that time ay available lang po sa US and at the same time in different schools. or universities in United States. Then, noong 1988, the IRC or the Internet Relay Chats became available. So, dito na nga po yung lolo ng messenger ng mga PMs, ng mga DMs natin. Then, noong 1990s, World Wide Web linkages or the www dot, ito pong mga websites that were basically created. And at the same time, the very first social media, known as the 6 Degree social media, was actually developed noong 1997. Okay? Doon po siya nag-start. Doon po talaga nagsimula yung existence ng social media. Kaya po kung titingnan natin yung social media timeline that we have here, everything started during the time of the launch of the 6 Degrees noong 1997. Then, in recent years, it started to develop different types of social networking platforms, katulad na nga lang ng existence ng Friendster. Para dun sa mga inabutan dito yung Friendster. I for one. Then, the LinkedIn na ginagamit naman na for businesses, okay, para sa mga makakuha ng trabaho. Then, MySpace was also launched noong 2002. So, malalaking iba't ibang mga social networking sites yung na-develop during that time. 2004, Facebook was founded, while 2006 naman, Twitter was launched. 2007, MySpace. 2008, Facebook. Kaya, dito na po nag-start na mag-boom yung mismong Facebook talaga. Na nagkaroon na dito ng iba't ibang mga games, nagkaroon na rin dito ng iba't ibang mga bagay na maaari ninyo magawa dito sa social networking platform na to. At sa unti-unti na siyang mas naging developed and na-surpass ninyo yung iba't iba pang mga social networking platforms during that time. 2010, Instagram hits the market. Snapchat was launched noong 2011. 2015, Friendsters are already suspended. Okay, suspended na po si Friendster. 2017, launch ng TikTok. 2018, Musical.ly. 2019, shutdown ng Google. 2020, the Clubhouse launches, pero hindi po siya nagbo-boom dito sa ating bansa. And by 2022, there are roughly around 4.7 billion worldwide social media users. And in recent years nga po, the development pa rin ng iba't ibang mga social networking platforms provided us more avenues para mas makilala yung iba't ibang mga individuals, and at the same time, for us to communicate rin with the outside world. Okay, so if we're going to look at the internet itself, yung internet po, it is defined as the webbing of computers and other electronic devices around the world. So by linking a machine to the internet, you can access practically any information, communicate with everybody worldwide, and do much more. So yung internet po, it is the cloud of connectivity na meron po tayo. Okay? While yung mga websites naman po, sila naman yung mga World Wide Web na binibisit po natin sa iba't ibang mga sites or iba't ibang mga codes. Okay? So, kaya nga po siya tinatawag na World Wide Web. So, all of them are actually interconnected. Meron po dito mga hyperlinks that we can actually utilize. Some of them are utilizing text, photos, and other related resources. So, tandaan po natin na yung internet is our connectivity, while the World Wide Web are the things na ina-access po natin sa mismong internet. So, these websites may actually resemble different media types. Iba sa kanila could be newspaper articles, some of them could be videos, some of them could be photos, some of them could be social networking sites. So iba-iba po ang kanilang application and utilization. So with the contemporary times, ang internet turned us as homebodies into individuals na maaari na po natin magawa yung iba't ibang mga bagay in the comfort of our own homes. Okay? That the utilization of the internet provided us a new avenue para matuto, para makagawa dito ng iba't ibang mga work, makapag-access tayo ng iba't ibang mga information kahit hindi na tayo umaalis dito sa comfort ng mga bahay natin. And we can also do this in a remote setup. We can do shopping, communication, bill paying, work, education, entertainment, and even yung pag-order ng pagkain. So some of these things can actually be done pagdating po sa mga bagay na to. So social media provided us different uses, especially during the advent of the pandemic. So nung pandemic, naging sobrang importante ang social media through the existence po ng socialization, paggamit ng social media for our businesses. Naging malaking factor din to even in the politics here in our country. Nag-e-exist pa rin po ito na sobrang tindi ng um, significance ng mismong social media pagdating po sa political landscape sa ating bansa. With the past election and the incoming election, a lot of things may actually happen when it comes to our social networking sites. Okay? And I am not sure if you think na dapat or sige, let me know your response pagdating sa bagay na to. Okay? So, just drop on the comments yung mismong answer ninyo, okay? And I will be looking into it. So, provide your name and your section, okay? Doon po sa comment section natin. Lagay niyo yung name and your section and answer this prompt or this question para lang din malaman ko kung nakikinig or nanonood nga ba kayo dito sa discussion natin. Ito. It could be in English, it could be in Filipino, it could be in Taglish. I would like to know your answer regarding this. Dapat ba na nakabukod ang social media ng mga matatanda? Dapat ba nakabukod ang social media ng mga boomers? Okay? Kasi isa ito sa mga madalas natin na nakikita sa social networking sites eh. Ilan ito sa mga nakikita natin. So do you think dapat ba nakabukod yung kanilang social media? Or dapat kasama lang din natin sila pagdating dito sa social media platforms na to? Do you think boomers should have their different social media? So ilagay nyo po dun sa comment section natin. Para ako nagpa-plug dito. Sa comment section po natin dito yung answer ninyo. Provide your name and your section for me to note this as your recitation point para sa session natin na to. Okay? So, it could also be utilized for job recruitment, katulad na nga lang po ng utilization natin ng LinkedIn, and even is utilized for education. So dati nga po, Facebook lang yung ginagamit, mga messenger groups lang, but now we are now utilizing other platforms. Meron na tayong Teams, meron tayong Google Classrooms, we also have different LMS or learning management systems. Now, kung meron po tayong positive things na nagagawa when it comes to social networking sites, there are also different risks na maaari po natin na ma-encounter. Some of the risks can actually involve the existence po ng identity theft and fraud. Okay? Panggagancho, kuha ng information, and at the same time, paggamit ng information mo against you. The existence po ng reduced productivity na dahil sa tayo ay transfixed na sa paggamit ng mismo social networking sites, hindi na tayo nakakagawa ng mga dapat natin na ginagawa. Then there's also the existence po ng dependence that most of us are now dependent po sa mismo social media na kailangan ina-update natin lahat ng ginagawa natin na dapat ginagawa natin itong mga bagay na to. Kasi we are now dependent or now transfixed sa mga phones or sa mga devices natin. Then there's also the presence po ng tinatawag natin na cyberbullying and even the spread of fake news and at the same time fake propaganda. Na there are actually different sites and at the same time different laws kung titingnan po natin to that are now actually related po pagdating sa mga bagay na to. So in contemporary times, meron po tayong tinatawag dito na existence of what we are calling as the cybercrime. Okay? So yung cybercrime, also known as computer crime, uses different gadgets and instruments to do illegal deeds or do illegal things. Katulad na nga lang po ng pag-commit ng fraud, trafficking, utilization po ng kid pornography, okay, utilization of minors, property stealing, stealing of identities, and even violating privacy. So, cybercrime in the Philippines, meron po tayong tinatawag dito na Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012, which is RA 10175. So, it actually deals with the illegal use of online interactions and therefore dito po sa internet sa ating bansa. So among the cybercrime offenses or punishable acts include offenses against the integrity, confidentiality, and availability of computer data and systems. Pagkuha nga po ng mga information na hindi naman necessary na magagamit ng individuals na to or magagamit against you sa masamang pamaraan can actually be a part of the punishable by law. Then, existence po ng computer-related offenses and even content-related offenses. Nandito yung existence ng perjury, existence din ng libel, and the likes. Okay? Then, there's also the RA 9775, which is the Anti-Child Pornography Act of 2009, that under this Republic Act, those producing, disseminating, or distributing child pornography will be fined from 50,000 to 5 million pesos and slapped a maximum jail of reclusion perpetua or 20 to 40 years na kapag yung mga individuals po na to ay napatunayan nga po nagkasala dito, yung reclusion perpetua, ito po yung pinakamataas na type ng punishment or pagkakakulong na maaaring maibigay sa isang individual dito sa ating bansa. Okay? So, possible din po na magkaroon dito ng aresto mayor or imprisonment from 1 month and 1 day to 6 months and fine po ng at least 50,000 but no more than 250,000 or both. So ilan po yun to dun sa mga batas na related po sa kung ano nga ba yung nangyayari when it comes to the utilization po ng information age sa ating bansa. Siyempre, all of us have that rights. And also, we need to practice our responsibility sa paggamit ng mga bagay na to. So, always be mindful lang po and always remember to always think before you click. Okay? Kasi there are a lot of things that are actually present in our digital footprint na forever na po mag-stay sa mga bagay na yan. So katulad nga lang po ng activity natin that will be related for this particular task sa lesson na to, it is very much important for you guys to understand the existence of your cyber footprint. Or when we talk of your cyber footprint, ano nga ba yung magmamanifest or makikita ninyo sa social networking sites or sa mga search engines kapag search ninyo yung mismong pangalan ninyo. Okay? So you should provide here the existence of, you will be typing your name. Ilagay po ninyo yung full name ninyo and at the same time, kahit anumang search engine yan, tingnan ninyo kung ano nga ba yung mga images that will pop on your screen. Take some screenshots of it. Doon po sa Google form natin, I provided an example for this. Then, yung mga details ba na provided pagdating sa bagay na to, that is present in the cyber world, incriminating ba para sa inyo? Or ito ba ay nagpapakita ng negative side ng paggamit ng social media? Or it is something that you can be proud of? Okay? So, all of those things, so halimbawa na lang, sige, let me look into this. Search po natin. So, Diomered Medina. Okay? So, check po natin kung ano nga ba yung mga magmamanifest pagdating po sa bagay na to. So, here are some of the things that are actually related pagdating sa akin. May LinkedIn. Then, yung mga videos po doon sa YouTube that I have. Okay? So, ito po yung mga nakikita ninyo or makikita ninyo dito. Uy, medyo matagal na to Okay? Nung nagkaroon ako dito ng pagiging guest speaker and the likes. Then, check natin dito sa part ng images. Tingnan natin kung meron dito mga incriminating na photos. Well, wala naman ako dito sa majority ng mga photos na to. So, yeah, all of them are non-incriminating for me. So, ibig sabihin lang po nito that when it comes to my case, when it comes to my profile, everything is actually safe. Okay, so wala pong incriminating, wala pong bagay na maaari magdulot sa akin dito ng harm or something that will provide a negative light pagdating sa mga future employers ko. Okay? Kasi ganun po yung ginagawa ng pag-background check na ibang mga employers And even for scholarships, tinitingnan nila kung ano nga ba yung mga nagawa mo on the search engines, then yun na yung magpo-provide nyo na information sa kanila sa kung ano na nga ba yung status mo. Okay? On how you are utilizing the cyber world. So, basically, these are the things that we actually have for our discussion for today. So, hopefully, you will be doing this task and answer yung prompt natin kanina. Pakilagay po sa comment sections kayo yung answers ninyo. So, if you would like to have a discussion pagdating po sa bagay na to, please inform me. Or we can have your questions answered sa comment section natin or sa mismong GC natin for our class. So for the meantime, yun lang muna and see you everyone on our next discussion and thank you for listening to this one. Thank you. See you.